Hi. How's everybody doing? Just check and see if everything works here. Hey, Tinguish. Oh, hi. Oh, hey, Carl. How you doing? Ah, Carl is here. Carl Buck. Just let's let me get myself situated here. Oh, the chat is. Let me make a quick adjustment here. I would like it to be in the same place as when I'm there. We can make it. There we go. I know you're not supposed to futz with your layout when you're actually live, but I'm not super professional. Okay, so let's pull onto the monitor. We've got. We left off at relative clauses, and I was going to get this as a do some kind of a patron poll here, but that did not end up happening. It's you know for complicated reasons. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So we said we don't have any um, internally headed relative clauses. We do not have, it's not correlative. There's no resumptive pronoun, so that's makes sense. And they are always adjacent. That still leaves quite a few uh, that still leaves some interesting things to do. Now, let me just make sure that I understand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can still have the noun itself in the main clause, but you don't have an extra pronoun. Okay. That is helpful. Yeah. So let's see what we can do here then. So I'm going to do subordinate clauses more generally, but let's start with the relative clause. So the question is, we're going to do it after the noun because that makes the most sense. We already have adjectives following the noun. And so if adjectives are already following the noun, relative clauses are very heavy. So they're probably going to end up after the noun as well. I think it's usually the case that a relative clause coming before a noun is only going to happen in a particularly head final language, like very, very thoroughly head final. So we have this structure. We have noun and then relative. So the question is there a relative pronoun or another relative marker? Is there some kind of relativizer somewhere? What do you guys think? We can take a look at. I'm thinking maybe we do a relativizer, but to get out of the European zone, we try not to do a demonstrative. So let's see. Let's see if this has relativizer. Okay. Oh, yeah. So demonstrative to relative is one of them. Let's go to the index here. Yeah, so relative. Right. So demonstratives here, a locative, a nominalizer, a W question. Yeah, so they say relative. So let's take a look at okay. So let's go look at the different sources here. So demonstratives here, locative, nominalizer. So let's look at locative. That might be interesting. See if we can just find it in here. I really wish that they had like chapters in this PDF. Because this is really a pain to go through. Okay, we have locative coming up here. Like locative. Locatives can do a lot of things. $274. Yeah, locative to relative. Okay. Okay. So Semitic. There's a noun that means case, that means place. That's one. Interesting. Yeah, it's just a little bit difficult to use the PDF. It's very much like might be easier to have the physical book of this and flip through the pages. So everything here seems to be pointing to like a locative to a relative. is like sort of like a like a word that meant place, maybe a word that meant where. If we can go back here. You know what they should do is this should be put into CLLD, like the same system as like GramBank and stuff. Yeah. And then it would be very easy to look up everything. Maybe they should get in contact with the people who do all of the linguistic databases and turn this into a database. Maybe get more contributors so they can get more stuff. So nominalizer, okay, nominalizer is one you can do. I don't have any nominalizers, but if we did, so let's go look for that. Look in the end somewhere. Nominalizers probably do like a ton of things, but okay, here, so here can become a relative. Let's see which. Let's see where it says anything about here. Okay, Tokpisin. Oh, in Tokpisin here, I think. We are Mambare. We are. Oh, 296 is what I'm looking for. Nominalizer to relative. Okay. So, Guarijo language of northwestern Mexico, the nominalization suffix me or yame was grammaticalized to a subject relative clause marker. Okay. Man, house, build, nominalizer, get sick. Okay. So here what you do is you make the verb, you nominalize the verb, which that's definitely an interesting thing to do. I'm kind of actually interested in doing the here thing. It lists Tokpisin, however, that feels like it has a relationship to the English this here, where people say this here, something, something, and then got extended to a relative clause. Possibility. A nominalizer. Nominalizers are definitely good for getting all kinds of subordinates. So I guess the question is, do we want... clear my notifications. So the question is, do we want to have a relative pronoun or some kind of relative marker? Another thing I was thinking about when it talked about locatives was... one thing we need to do if we did a nominalizer is we need to figure out what class it is. Probably the easiest thing would to make it an inanimate class, right? I think that most verb nominalizers would default to class 5, right? Because that's an easy default to have. But we could consider something different. We have a lot of notifications today. Let me think about that. But another thing I was thinking about was using prepositions. On one hand, that would be interesting. Using one of our prepositions. On the one hand, that would be interesting, and it would tie in the inflected prepositions into more things. On the other hand, maybe we don't need to tie in the inflected prepositions into everything. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if that really warrants anything. I'm thinking... Good afternoon, Aaron. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Let's go broadly to subordinate clauses in general. I think for general subordinate clauses, we'll get like a nominalizer, and then we can do a lot of things once we have a nominalized subordinate clause, right? So we can have, let's just quickly get some forms ready. And we're going to do our short words. I don't know that I'm even going to decide on a source for this nominalizer. Just, it was a nominalizer in Elder Fay already. And puts blip beep. Let's run the sound changes on this. And then let's get you guys a poll. creates dependent verbs. And let's see, export. Pus. Oh, it's not put. It's pus. We'll throw it in there. And we will end this at 35. Okay, go and vote. Okay. Okay, it's rolling in. While that's cooking, so I've got an idea of an ancestor word to my word from last week, anak. Oh, interesting. So you're going backwards and figuring out what the ancestor of that word was, huh? Yeah. It's always easier to go forwards than backwards, but sometimes you might come up with an idea where you want to go backwards. Let's see. Where were we? Oh, I never shared the stream on Patreon. I always have two minds because the thing is we got a lot of free members on Patreon. So I feel like I need to put this up for them to notify them. And then on the other end, it's like, but why am I putting stuff that's not that's not Patreon on Patreon. This is another one of those things. Shepherd, and then evolved to mean lord, chief, or ruler. Well, that works for a certain type of history. Yeah, that sounds like a very interesting, like unique way of doing it. Okay. So subordinate clause. By the way, I recorded a Conlangery episode all about subordinate clauses recently. It'll be a while before it comes out because I've got a couple others ahead of it, but that may be interesting once that comes out. Let's see. Oh, that's really cool, Aaron. So we're gonna have a situation where, so we have possibly have a preposition nominalized verb. And I'm thinking yeah, I'm going a little bit more European than I usually do on Sylvan here, just because I want to have these callbacks to Celtic, and it works better if I do it that way. This should be just regular text. So let's, okay, this should be almost over. Toi. You guys are really into making these things interesting. It's possible. How do Celtic languages actually do relative clauses? That might be something to look at, huh? So it looks like Irish just has a relativizer. It's just like a general relativizer. So, okay. So, yeah, let's back up because a lot of people come here to learn. So, a subordinate clause. Let's start with subordinate clause. A subordinate clause is a sentence within a sentence. So, the super common one would be I think that he was read, right? This he was read. This is a whole sentence, right? But it's getting stuck into the complement of this verb think. So you put a sentence within a sentence. A relative clause is a specific kind of subordinate clause that goes in that modifies a noun. So we can say I saw the man who was read. Right? And you can go who was read. That is the relative clause. It's modifying man here. So it's a specific type of subordinate clause that modifies a noun. Now let's go back to our little our poll and see what the final results are. So toi. So we add this toi to two verbs. Let's go get Obsidian up and get the Sylvan dictionary. And let's see what verbs do we have. Verbs. Beep is called call. Warm Colors is here. How are you doing, Warm Colors? Everybody doing good? Let me see. Oh, we're bumping now. People are starting to log on. Kutach. Bea. So, okay. I'm going to Okay, we've got something we can do to do. Let's do some subordinate clauses first. And so I'm going to get your kutach and let's get to Lexergy. Done with that. So we go kutach, and what is the one that you guys chose? It was toi. And let's see what falls out. We may end up editing things. Kutach toi. So I'm thinking, so this is going to be like a general dependent form. And do we want to leave it couturier, or are we going to go with couturier? Let's go with couturier. Couturier. And so we go here. So couturier. And let's go with call bear. So we look up bear. Bear. Let's look up bear. And let's just get a let's just grab the regular let's go to the regular agreement. Let's go have just a simple first person and put and we get that's not what I wanted. Now we could leave it like this. And then we need a noun. For water deer. Now, so let's say this is a resultative. And here I'm definitely going to say so I'm gonna work up. So there's two different ways we can do this. We can have this just be the object here, or we can add a preposition like what is at 2. To or toward. And since there is an object there, it would just remain in the base form. Right? Which, admittedly, that looks basically like an English infinitive phrase. We might not want that. Yeah. Oh, you did Finnish vowel harmony. That's interesting. The I like that in Finnish you have front back harmony, but there's neutral front vowels. It's very interesting. It points to some interesting history there. But anyway, we can work out that in a bit. We're gonna sort that out in a minute. Let's go back here. Let's actually talk about the relative clause. So, and the options we would have, let's say, do we have, here we could have we could have, putted toile, right? So here's two options. Here's a few options. We could have this. We could let's we can have turn this into a locative thing. So easiest there's two ways. We have a locative case. We also have a locative preposition. I think at, by, beside, this would be a good option for a preposition to stick in there. So we could have that. And maybe we decide, so that we actually use our cases somehow, that actually uses the locative form. So if we stick this onto I didn't really think through how that was going to work out, right? Okay, we have, right. Okay, so I want to, we're done with this. I think we need a step I think that we need a step, something in here that deals with this situation. Kutuhtuasi. Yes, okay. I think what we need is we need to take this and have this apply another time at the end of the sequence. Kutuhtuasi. Kutuhtuasi. Baput. Baput. And then we can have a... Yeah. I think I like that better. And then when we get into dialects, we'll have some interesting things happening there. Kutuhtuasi. Or just have the locative, just the negative locative. Kutuhtuasi. Kutuhtuasi. So, all of these would mean I called the deer that was walking. And I mean, maybe all of these are valid. Who knows? That makes me think that I need to have some sort of case marking here. I think most of my prepositions are going to take the locative and then we'll have some things. So, thing about subordinate clauses is we need to have I want this. You very strange. No. Are you thinking this is one paragraph or what? Okay. Right. And then another thing we could do here is we could get this into the oblique case. Put this into the oblique case. language. That's not going to have the vowel in front. Which would no, I don't like that option. I don't like that option because this would mean something different. Actually, this would be, what would that mean even? Now, the benefit of starting to use like the prepositions temporal clauses. Temporal or locative clauses. Yes, I want to. I that's easy. So this should be It's a weird situation. So one thing I'm doing here, I'm absolutely going to have is these these all of these subordinate clauses. They This can be the start of the VSO transition. Um, you start this happening within the subordinate clauses, and then it starts to spread to main clauses in some dialects. Maybe something to do with okay. I don't know why it's so far behind, but I'm presuming that you guys can still hear me. I don't understand. Okay, that's weird. Temporal/locative. Okay, so we've got a few options to deal with here. How do these interact? Now, how do we deal with, I think, whichever one we do here, relative clause, so only subjects can be relativized. Right? Implied structure when passive or anti-passive. No, passive, anti-passive. So here's what we're gonna do here. So do we have eat? What verbs do we have? Beep, beep, ka, kuta, ka, wa. Oh, that's not it. Sudo. Let's get a verb to eat. I'm going to coin two words here. We're going to coin eat and grass. And I don't know if I'm gonna, so let's get a broader array of roots. Oh, stoi. What does that turn into? What does that become? Toi. Yes, that's our word for eat. We'll just take that as our word for eat, and then let's add the correct class suffix. So, would. Toyud. Okay, so This is a verb, to eat. And I'm also going to so let's go back down to relatives. That would be aspiration usually. Yeah, debucalization, Tinglish. That's right. Debucalization is the general term for that. Oh, I want to hit the export. Grab this. And then we need a word for grass. Bistro. Let's go and see what happens to each of these. What happened here? Why am I... Oh, done. We don't want poog. We don't want poog in here. And what I want to do is I want to grab the class 1 suffix and see what each of these looks like with class 1. So, oh, what happened there? Lucreti. Lucreti. Tljimti. Pujti. Pujti. Brit. Briti. Okay. So, let's see. Is our word for grass. I'll let you guys decide. Buffy. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the Twitch. Did I copy? Ah, I see what happened. Let's hide this. And what I'm aiming for Okay, do we have that poll over with now? Let's check it. You guys really like that. Okay. The CC. Now, And I already forgot that nominalizer suffix. Okay, let me check that. And let me make sure that I have everything. Yeah. So it's this. Right. Let's copy this one and copy this one. And we go back. So here's what I'm thinking about here. Let's go through these examples. So this is I called the deer that was walking. Here we have this is the water deer ate grass, right? And let's hop into, let's check out chat so I know. So we have the water deer ate grass. Here we have the water deer that ate it. And what one of the things is here is when you do a transitive and you nominalize it, it's implied to be either passive or anti-passive. So what you have is you have to reintroduce something with the appropriate prepositional phrase. The water deer that ate the grass. The grass that they ate. It's just, there's no gendered. You could say it, you too. The grass that the water deer ate. So this is what I'm thinking. And the thing is, this could extend to all kinds of different subordinate clauses, not just relative clauses. Yeah. How to make mocha at home. That's cool. So this is what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna have to. I will consider whether this makes sense. I think. A temporal or locative, just using the locative case, I like, but then we can actually add certain prepositions in order to like change that, alter that situation. I can do a little bit of checking on. So we've got resultative. We've got this. I'm going to consider for a poll. Whether resultative is one or two of the one of these or both. I think I like the way that the relative clause works at this point. I think I need to consider whether I want to have this with a preposition or not. I think this actually, we need to do a preposition because okay, I think this one is not it. This one is not it because like there's no way to have like this modifying. The choice would be between these two. Up here we could do either way because this is a core argument, can be a core argument. But in fact, I think we can split up clause. And do we have a oh, okay. This is present tense, actually. We can split this. And I need a word for C. I don't have a word for to see, right? Let's make this our last word that we decide together. And let's actually... I'm actually... No, I need to make a whole new poll. New poll. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you Okay, I'm going to give you a straight up choice just on YouTube. What is the form for to see? Nipo or... Oh, I need to actually stick them in the thing, right? So, yipa, 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 or dwa. These are both really cool words. I'm just giving two options here because those two particularly... Oh, okay. Dwa or nipa. Oh, everybody vote now. How many people are on? There's still a lot of people who haven't voted yet. I'm going to give it one more minute to see if anybody else throws in a vote. Because if you get one more, either it's decided or it's up in the air still. Okay. 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 I got to end this so that we can move on. Gua. So this has always been gua. We get add. Dwa. Dwa is a verb. We got verb transitive C. I'm going to let C be a regular transitive verb. If you remember in Ducking, I did like a funny situation with that. But in this case, and doit ou doit doit put, and we go back to I mean, I have things in my head that I've gotten planned, but it's gonna be a little bit sketchy to give DMs room to fit it into their own world, but it's probably gonna be more world building than I did for last time. Just because. Uh, just because I feel pretty strongly that I want to figure out stuff about the structure of fairy that yeah, should be this, right? That I didn't necessarily like do about any planes in for Draconic. So let's go apply this. Do I put? Do I put? Do I put? Do I put? And let's go and apply that. One thing I really love about the way my sound changes have worked out is like the forms are not very predictable. In Duckiga, they were very predictable. And it was, I could just do it in my head. I can't do that here. The flip side of that is I'm going to have to figure some way of automatically generating all of my stuff. And then possibly I'm going to, before I do the dialect split, figure out some kind of I know what I forgot. I forgot the community post. That's important. Okay. So let's go back to, where was I? So do I put, and if we go down to, let's go back down to the subordinate clauses. If we have do I put oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can capitalize that. Okay, do I put, and then we can have, oh, actually, do I even want that to happen the same way? So if I have, I saw, so what I'm going with is that I saw the deer eat the grass. Okay. So with our current structures, and it would not be this. So we have options here. We have this, or we have this. Thing is, if we're using the same structure, I think we're going to have to do things differently here. I think, and this is just a thought, I think in this case we're going to have to go with a fully inflected verb. So that would be so this is an option. And maybe we get a demonstrative in there. We take a demonstrative. And what was our... I need to go back to straw poll. With it. And I'm going to figure out what happens here. I think with it, with as I see the deer eat the grass. So let's see. What I'm thinking of is like I think I think this works. So I think choice is going to be between this and the proximal. So here's my thinking on this. This can be a complement clause. I think I like doing it this way. So what I'm thinking is that this formed in a completely different way. There's no nominalization happening. What happened is you had the history was something like, I saw that the deer ate the grass. And then it shifted to something like, I saw that ate the grass, ate the deer the grass. We could do a VOS too. Basically fronting the verb. And then we get to, I saw that that ate the deer the grass, and then this has become a true complementizer. Now we can have this or that. That's a choice that we can make. And we can sort that out. All right. So I have a bunch of things that I can turn into polls. So I think I'm going to make some decisions here. We are at time. Okay, my last thing is I'm going to make some decisions here, and I'm gonna figure out what I'm going to ask patrons on this particular subject. So patrons will have this. The next thing we need to get to, I kind of missed, is if we go to let's go up to our stuff and let's go. We need to have numerals. And what I'm thinking of doing is hybrid decimal vigesimal. So to do that, I'm going to have at least numbers 1 to 5, probably 1 to 10 started. And then from there, we can figure out other forms on stream and figure out how the system works, how they all combine together. So social media polls, I'm going to be working on like the different forms for numerals. And then for a patron poll, I'm going to actually like sort out like which options we're going to have for probably relative clauses or complement clauses. One of these. You need to like look at it and see what I want to do. And then we are pretty close to done with major morphology on middle fay, which means that we could wrap that up and start talking about the divergence into the different dialects. So that is what I'm going to be. So I'm going to be working on numerals next time. In the meantime, you guys go on, do your own projects and have fun with that. And I'm going to say happy conlagging. And how do I need to